the scenario.
Yeah, on 3, 2. It's our only example.
Yep. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Here's a Scenario, our free weekly podcast we put out through Laugh Button on iTunes, on all the things you stream comedy podcasts on. Check out our YouTube, Here's a Scenario. All the things that you could possibly subscribe to are at here'sascenario.com. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Cannon. With me, as always,
Mike Feeney, and also
Brendan Sagalow. And not only do we put out free episodes, but if you really feel obliged, you can go to the Patreon, and we have so much content in there. It's almost retarded. Whoops. Dude, the other day. Oh no, not the other day. Yesterday, I'm driving with my mom, and I'm dropping her off back home. And she said like, she goes, and that fucking Trump guy, don't even get me started on Trump. I fucking hate him. He's a retard. And I was like, what a progressively unprogressive thing to say. It's like,
yeah,
that's Long Island progressive.
I think that perfectly encapsulates the middle.
Yeah.
It's like reasonable, uh-oh.
Yeah. It's you're saying things that I'm on your side, but I'm not going to admit to being on your side.
That's right. Well, and then you're just going to do it on your podcast that reaches way more people than she was talking to in the car.
Whoops.
100%.
She's
Private
fine.
conversation.
Yeah. She'll be fine.
Well, this is a hypothetical based podcast for those of you who are new to the show. It's we do what if scenarios, would you rathers, all that kind of stuff. It's completely escapist, super goof, super silly, and we just have a good time. None of the social or political nightmares of the outside world infiltrate this space. So you are safe here.
Except for Brendan's mom's hard opinion about politics and Trump right up top.
I think you're a little hot, Fiend.
How do I get on hot?
I don't know.
Gain some weight, I guess. Shave the beard.
Keep not shaving.
Yeah. Keep not shaving. That's what I meant. Fuck. Keep it growing.
Let's get to the question.
Let's get into a question. Would you rather know all the languages in the world or know how to play all the instruments in the world? If you choose, we've done this before?
I was going to say, I think every episode we do this.
Okay.
I think we do it. We did it on the first episode and then on 5 through 15.
Yeah, we really do. I think we all choose instrument too. We all go, fucking guitar, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, the language would be cool for the 11 seconds that you go to like a restaurant and you want to show off that you can say the menu.
Mike, you always picked language because you said you wanted to tour other countries in other languages.
Oh, right. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Here's the thing. I have no real opinions. I think I've realized that is I have the opinion of whoever I'm talking
of a goldfish?
to. I often disagree with myself. I often have a hard stance on both sides. And as soon as somebody offers any type of resistance, I'm like, yours sounds better.
I love opinion of a goldfish. It's so fucking funny to me. Okay, here's another question. A building is on fire. Do you save a sibling or 4 strangers?
A sibling? I'll step on a stranger's face on my way to my sister.
He says, really? You have siblings. Even I knew the answer to that.
I mean, honestly, if my sister was in a fire, a burning building, and there weren't any other people, I wouldn't save her.
Really? Isn't she the one that just hooked you up with SNL tickets and loves you?
I know. I love her, too. I'm kidding, obviously. You know, this is a comedy podcast, Feeney, all right? So get your beard out of your ass.
Was that comedy?
I think it's comedy to want to kill your sister.
You just said you'd save yours.
I would, but I want to kill her too.
Stop. Hey, Goldfish, over here. On me.
I agree. I'm with you. I love my sister.
I'm going to save my sister. I'd save my sister and bring her into another burning building.
Well, that's what I want to do. I want to save my sister from the burning building so I can kill her the way I want.
Yeah. Or it's like, you're not getting out that easy.
Yeah. Meanwhile, that's the most nightmarish way to go. Is just being eaten by hot flame.
Well, actually, I think you just pass out and then you burn alive, right? You pass out from the smoke.
Yeah, they do say that it's not as bad as you think it's going to be. However, every burning building has pretty large haunting screams coming from it. So I don't want to run that risk.
even if it's like a lobster and it's involuntary the moment they hit boiling water, it's still horrifying.
Yeah, but isn't that just air escaping their shell?
I don't know.
That's what they told. That's what they want you to know.
That's what they told Brendan.
That's what Big Lobster told me.
No, it'd be the opposite of Big Lobster. It'd be Big Seafood told you that.
Yeah, Big Seafood told me.
Lobsters are the truthers, man.
They're trying to hold up picket signs, but it keeps snapping.
Yeah, they're telling us about 9/11 in Morse claw code.
in Morse claw. All right, yeah, I'd save my sister. In all honesty, I'd save my big sister.
Feeney would save
sister.
his siblings, meaning he would save himself and feel no pressure to get anyone else.
Yeah,
It's the best. Look, I'm like a parent on an airplane.
Is it the best? You have no regrets or anything. Not even regrets, but
What? What is he going to shove his dad's dick into his mom's vagina? Like, what do you mean? It's
you know what I mean. There's no part of you that's like, man, I wish I had a fucking brother or sister.
Oh, growing up, I thought that for sure because you're like, it'd be nice to have somebody to like, to play with, or especially, when parents are going through divorce, it'd be nice to have somebody in the trenches,
ally.
like both of you had allies on either side. To fight. No, you didn't?
No, not during my parents' divorce, actually. My sister and I didn't really get along at that point.
You have
Younger
two
sister.
sisters.
Yeah, one was in college, I was home, and then my younger sister was in such a different age bracket that it was just like, it wasn't like we were a team.
Damn, that sucks.
Well, see, that's the other side of it where you're like, even if you do have a sibling, it's like, they could end up, I feel like Mike's siblings now, like they're all close and everything, but you could end up having a sibling that's like, an addict who's stealing shit or just an asshole or doesn't talk. Like, I feel like I'd be more sad if I had a sibling that I wasn't close to than if I didn't have any siblings at all. That would make me more upset. But then there's also like other obligations now because you're like, if they have kids, I got to go visit their. You know what I mean? There's just like it's additional calendar filling up things, and then it's another person in my life I have to like. I have to lose.
Feel like an obligation.
If they're sick and worried,
dude. It's so funny, like because you're right to look at it in that perspective because you have no emotional ties to this fictitious sibling that we've created, but it's not an obligation when it's an actual thing. You know what I mean? Like when you grew up with the person and you do have blood ties and you have developed a close relationship, those calendar filling things, like everything else starts becoming the in the way shit. Yeah. I don't know. That's how I'm looking at it now. It's like I used to be, I don't want to visit anybody. I'm not taking time off of comedy. I'm 100% tied into this. My life is positioned around this stuff. But now it's like, it's still equally as important to me, but all that stuff kind of gets in the way of seeing the people I actually love.
Yeah, which is also an important thing. We're always like, we're like, who cares about seeing people we love? I love stand up. I like performing.
Me.
No, it fucking hates me.
But then you have the Brendan side of it, who does what I was saying, where he if he visits his family, he makes 6 jokes in a post about how much he hates doing it and stuff. So it is an obligation for him, and I don't know whether that's a product of.
It's not an obligation. I mean,
I also think that's Brendan's way of protecting himself. He doesn't want to open up and become completely sensitive and
to his own family.
To his own family. Yeah.
Wow.
No, you guys don't know those fuckers.
Those people who raised you in that really wealthy part of Long Island must have been terrible.
Yeah, great. Yeah, whose side are you on?
The people who
I don't know now.
The confidence to frost your tips as a 29-year-old.
Those
self-esteem.
I didn't like
paid for
go
all
to
your
a salon. I didn't do my lean. I didn't go to a fucking salon and
those parents who had your back even though you pulled a knife on a teacher in high school.
Brought a knife to school.
There's other ways to abuse me. You know what I mean? There's other ways of
by
abuse.
saying, Brendan, that could have been funnier.
Yeah. By saying, who's really good? That Jimmy Kimmel guy. I go, okay.
You should do his show.
All All right. Well, you guys are not on my side. Let's move on to another question.
I'm always on your side.
But that's what's so interesting to me. That's what I'm saying is like the sibling thing, because you have, like I said, you guys are both perfect examples of like Cannon seems like the good example of like what I would aspire to if I had siblings, and then Brendan. And I'm not saying I don't know why you're getting defensive because your family's in shambles.
Right.
He's
But
getting
it's
defensive
I don't know
over
why.
a thing he agreed to.
Dude, it's literally your fucking opener.
Over
You're
a
like,
thing
anyone
he fought for.
yeah,
I
anyone-
like.
My opener right now is I want to kill myself.
yeah, and then followed up with then I had to go visit my parents, and I'm like, I'll just fucking die instead, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. You're right.
So you're the opposite of me right now. Is either position you're gonna fight.
I'll fight anybody.
You're the worst. You're the worst case scenario. You're the reason that I'm glad I'm only child.
The title
I
of
love
this
my
episode
sister.
and also Brendan's new nickname in the show, the worst case scenario.
I am the worst case. That's the name of my next album. The worst case scenario.
Yeah, take it. Why not?
He's
I'm
gonna
gonna tweet it.
like,
I'm
know
gonna
what I
tweet it
figured
right
out
now.
about myself today? That I'm the worst
alone?
case
With
scenario.
no help from anyone. All my friends are dead. I have no one. All right, let's move on to a question, shall we? If you could have one thing you want, this is a big one. If you could have the one thing you want the most in life, if it meant being followed around by 3 human-sized moths who are invisible to other people and scoff and berate you when you're asleep, they come close to your face and stare at you, would you take what you want the most?
That might be one of the best questions I've ever heard.
Oh my
3
god.
moths. That's like us. We're 3 moths.
We
I
are
think-
3 moths that get in your face.
Yeah,
And berate you.
yeah. We're attracted to light. The limelight. What if I always had like garlic on me to like make them go away, or like lime
guess you-
I
juice?
think that might be a
guess.
different flying
Yeah.
haunting animal.
Yeah, but also that's like annoying to have to be like, I have to fucking get rid of these moths every day.
You have to have a cattle prod on you at all times. So
And
you
also,
just
if you're like on stage and you're in the middle of a joke and you hear like, you're like, ah, you know, you just start having a break.
Human-sized moths.
it's like the tick.
It's not even-
the ticks just flapping their wings as you're trying to tell jokes.
It's
you
not
just look like
even
a
like
Vietnam vet.
it's not even like if the human-sized moth wing flaps, it's like
Oh yeah. Wait, that only you can see?
that only I can see and that only we can see, and they berate us and they scoff. They scoff.
I love the
that.
scoff.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's
so
the
not
thing.
only do they berate you, but they go, please.
Here's the thing. This is obviously none of our choice, but this is our new TV show. We are the 3 moths, and
Yeah.
for whatever reason, some poor non-cis white male will have this as their
Yeah, we died in
Yeah.
we died in an exotic vacation in Costa Rica, and now we're stuck in this purgatory afterlife.
Yeah,
until,
we have to do 100 good deeds to become human again,
Yeah.
or to
We
become
Can't stop
butterflies.
berating people.
Berating
become
and
butterflies.
Executive producer Nick Kroll.
Dude, My Name Is Earl was great. That's some bangers in there.
My name is Earl was a good show, and I mean the thing that I said is 100 good deeds with Eddie McDowd. Do you remember that show?
Oh
No.
no, but that's also the exact plot of My Name Is Earl, was to do the good deeds.
100 Good Deeds with Eddie McDowd was a Nickelodeon show about a criminal who became a dog, and he got turned into a dog by a witch, and then he had to do 100 good deeds, and at the end of it, he could become human again. And the show got canceled so quickly. I think he was on like 91. Like that's going
So
down,
quickly.
going down. I meant
Going down.
from 3.
Yeah, I was like almost there.
But that's also, again, so close to the My Name Is Earl. It's like he was a criminal who had to
Yeah.
turn his life around and do good deeds, but they just were like Nickelodeon. They were like, which dog? Throw it in. There you go.
yeah.
Perfect.
Original idea, you know.
Would you?
that's-
So
I
would
would
you
not
do
do
this?
it. I would, of course, not do that because that
What if
sounds
what
like
you
a
wanted
living.
the most-
That sounds like living. I would rather not have the thing I want the most than live with paranoid schizophrenia in everybody else's eyes.
Yeah, I mean, and in your real life, like even if they weren't around, but if they flew around you for like 3 months, berating you, and then gave you like an hour reprieve, like you just
that whole hour, you'd just be wondering when they're coming back.
It'd be a nightmare, dude.
What if what you wanted the most was a giant like light, like a giant bug zapper?
Fly swatter.
You just never sleep. You move to Alaska.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what your clothes are made out of. So it's like that. What is that?
Mothballs.
Well, no, fucking neon lights. Or no, the lights actually bring them to you, right?
Yeah.
So
the
electric
is what you want.
Mothballs?
Yeah, those are the things that's what it smells like. Old people's homes. That's what they put in their clothes so the moths don't go in there and eat all your clothes. But it smells.
That's what those do?
Yeah. They stink.
They should make them smell good.
I can't even say what I thought.
What'd you think? It was like smelly private parts?
I thought they were made out of old moths.
For what purpose? Like, what would they do?
That helped protect clothes or something. Like I didn't
People
know.
just caught them in the air, rolled them up, and they were like,
I thought it was
put
like
it on your
old
shirt.
people. I thought it was an old people thing, and it was some weird old timey tradition, and that's why they're no longer really in active circulation. And I just thought we were done with it. We're like, yeah, why would we have crumpled up moths in our clothes? Like that seems weird.
Huh. Very strange. It would be weird if
Very strange.
Because it's like, what if what you want the most in life is like fame and fortune, and you're just so you get it, but you're just a fucking weirdo. Everybody's like, you're
like
basically
Howard
like
Hughes.
Britney Spears.
Yeah. No, it would be fun. Is the only way this would be fun is if those moths, like if they had to be around you forever, then if they respawned, that would be cool. Because if you were in your house and they're like flapping all over you and they call you something good or whatever, and you just like, you have an AR-15 or something,
They call
and
you
you're just
something
like,
good. Yeah.
you just fucking can absolutely take out your aggression on these guys in your mansion.
Yes, but in your mansion, you just hunt them.
Yeah.
But if they're just in your head, then you're just shooting your shit.
Right. They're not even.
Right.
They're not.
Well, that's
real to shoot.
That's why I kind of gave the caveat where I'm like, if they respawn, like if there was some sort of receipt for you hitting them, like if they drop dead and whatever, that would be cool.
Yes, that would be cool. Okay, let's move on to another one. You're playing poker with a tiger. You're holding. I don't know what any of this means, so. I think you guys like poker, so hopefully you'll know. But you're holding 10C, 9C,
10 of clubs, 9 of clubs.
9 of clubs, and the flop is a 9 of diamonds, a 7 of hearts, and a JC, which is
Jack of clubs.
Jack of clubs. Okay,
Right.
You notice that the
It
tiger's
was 9-7 Jack.
9-7 Jack.
You have 10-9, so you have an inside.
10-9,
you have a double and straight draw with a backdoor flush and a pair.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You notice that the tiger's tail is thrashing around violently, and it seems to be completely unaware that it's doing so, like an involuntary action. It stares at you hypothetically, hypnotically,
Right.
and slowly places a minimum bet. Do you fold? Do you fold? Do you call, raise, or run screaming?
I missed the tiger part of the question. There's a tiger on the loose? Like, where did the...
Let's just pretend this tiger is a man because it has there's no tiger implications here, like besides the tail. So let's say his tail is,
So you know that something's up.
Well, so this is my actual poker play here, right? This is what I would do. A minimum bet is obviously always super suspect because it feigns strength a little bit. It's supposed to play as super weak, but if somebody's putting that out there on a loaded flop like that, chances are they probably have a big piece of it. So what I would do with a mid pair, straight draw, and the double or not double, what is it called, runner flush draw, I would probably do like a 2.5 times raise where I'd get to feel out exactly what they have if they come back over the top of me, and I also wouldn't be risking too many chips to lose if I realize that I'm beat.
Huh. I only understood like the small words in that, like to and the.
You know what I'm saying, right, Feeney?
100%. Yeah, I think that's the play. Although it depends what you're like. Obviously, it depends on the stakes and everything. But I hate. I mean, that is the correct play, but I hate the idea of being like, now I have to pay double to find out I'm still beaten.
Losing.
You know, but also you gotta call. You have so much going. You gotta, 100%.
Yes, but call is weak, so you've just handed them power in the hand where then they can dictate. They can dictate the.
I like more of the Python approach of kind of the laying in the weeds and let them think that they have control, and then when I hit big, then I'll slow play them. But as
the problem with that is when you just flat call, you're actually giving away that your hand is unmade. So you're telling them that you're on a draw. So if the draw spikes, if the straight comes out or the flush comes out, they're more likely to understand that you could have possibly been sitting on a unmade hand hoping to hit big.
But sometimes, I'll be honest, let's say I had the straight. Mm-hmm. Or even if I had a flush or whatever. Because
if you had 8-10, it would have been a made straight off the flop.
Yeah, so let's say I had the straight and someone bet the minimum bet. That's such a small bet to me that if I went over the top, I don't want them. I want to take more of their money. So I would have actually just called it just so that they think they had power and then bet over the top, and then I would have went over them.
See, that's also a play. I've played a lot of hands where I've had that made straight and then I get fucked with some sort of pairing of the board and a boat comes.
That's what happened to me at Mohegan Sun the last time I was there.
I'm more likely to bet over the top of the small bet. And even if I take it down there, I'm happy with the small victory more than a big loss.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. This has been Poker Corner with two gays.
With two gays. That was interesting. I would pet the tiger.
I would ask the tiger where he learned to play cards.
Yeah. It's like that Louis joke where he's like talking about how his daughter was like, why didn't the gorilla go to the play? Because whoever was in charge said he couldn't or something like that. Fucking hilarious. All right. What rule would you like to see added to your favorite or any sport? Let's do favorite because any seems kind of whatever. So my favorite sport, I guess, is like skateboarding. Competitive what? Competitive rock. Eating. Surviving the city, man.
Parkour walking.
Yeah.
Parkour
visiting my parents.
Yeah. Doesn't get more extreme than that.
Yeah. I would say, I mean, there's so many things that could be added to baseball. I mean, there's so many stuff that's going to be added to baseball in the next year or two, which is like universal DH and everything, which should just be better because who the fuck cares about seeing a pitcher hit? But I like when the problem with the baseball right now is that they're still held on to this kind of like buttoned up way of doing shit. And now I think the younger generation of athletes are like, you know, they're breaking the unwritten rules of baseball. So when they hit a home run, they fucking kind of preen a little bit. They fucking do a crazy bat flip. They stare at it, which used to be like the next time you got up to bat, you had a 98 mile an hour fastball right under your chin for doing that, for showing up the pitcher. But it's like, that's the shit that like I love. Like, you know, I know it's obnoxious, but for the teams that I love, it makes me go like, fuck yeah. And for the teams that I hate, it makes me hate them more, which makes me even more invested in the sport. So I think they should just keep letting people be their own personalities.
I completely agree with that. They're fucking up hockey with that too. They're like minimizing fights. And it's like, that's it. Hockey's never going to be football. It's just not. It's like, it's kind of a regional thing. Like people that grow up with ice tend to like it more.
It's also an incredibly, it's an incredibly affluent sport to play because you have to have the money for all that equipment. It's crazy.
And ice time is super expensive. But it's like the NHL needs to not streamline it that way. Like I'm not saying go full XFL and like promote just a 3-round boxing match in the middle of the rink, but there should be like old school authoritative big doofs that can barely skate and just stone cold stun people on the ice.
And that's what's great about hockey though, is that like there's never that, like, again, with baseball, if you hit somebody, then they'll warn the teams and go, no one's allowed to hit anybody else. So then there's this bubbling grudge that happens over months and years. I put it on my Instagram stories yesterday, but the guy from the Houston Astros, Carlos Correa, who's one of the guys who was cheating and kind of like flippant about it, got hit with a pitch opening day, because that was the first time baseball fans had been in the stadiums, because last year nobody was there.
That was this year?
Yeah, 2 days ago.
Didn't he get hit last year too?
He was getting hit all year, but nobody was in the stands last year, you know? So this was the first time he got hit where people were in the stands, because they were all booing the Astros because they're the most hated team in sports, because they cheat, flagrantly.
Wow.
And
they
so
got caught.
And so they got caught. So he got hit opening day, and they got there was a standing ovation from the crowd that was so happy to hit him. And then, last night's game happens. The same guy who got hit, now he's fielding, and the guy who was on first base is running towards second base, and the same player, he just fucking lowers his shoulder and just fucking clotheslines the dude, and you just see his whole head snap back and smash to the ground in the craziest, wasn't expecting to. And I even, again, I say this on my Instagram stories, but he's got his glove hand here, and his throwing arm is back here, and he purposely brings it around to he ends up punching the dude in the hip while he's shoulder checking him, and this dude just gets full blown trucked. And so now you have this thing where it's they fucking hate the A's and the Astros fucking hate each other, and it's gonna only build this rivalry where in hockey they go on the ice, they drop the gloves, they punch it out right then and there, and then they shake hands and go to their corners, and then it's fucking dead. It's it. That's it. It's over.
It's real old school parenting type stuff.
It really is.
Hockey is hey, you two hash it out. No, not with words. On the front lawn in your underwear, bare knuckled.
I don't know if you guys got to just watch this thing.
This is why you subscribe to the YouTube.
Oh my God, dude.
Dude, that was a rugby truck.
Dude, and it's and this is in real time. You could just see he just takes his helmet off. He hits him so hard, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, and so people are excited.
More of that in baseball. Whatever rule that is.
Yeah,
that's what I want to add.
Perfect answer for this question. More of that for sure.
You know what I would take out? This is all boring sports stuff, but I would 100% just take out. This is the rule I would add. I was going to take out instant replay for basketball because it just slows the game down exponentially. And sometimes the rules are written as such where even if they have to judge the call based on something that's wrong, but because the rules establish it as this certain thing, so they get the call wrong, even though they see it. Do you know what I mean? It just gets off on a technicality. So sometimes they have to say the call is wrong. Even it's this whole thing, but I would say that if a referee gives a questionable technical or some sort of awful call, has a bad string of games, they should be fined or sat in a penalty box during an NBA game.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Because there's no incentive for the referees to be good in basketball. It's they have a union, they get paid, all this stuff, whatever. And I understand that they're also flying coach to and from these games, so they're not even getting good treatment. They're sitting in the back next to hacking Hasidics and shit.
They make them wear their referee shirts. They're you have to wear that on the
unloaded on the plane.
As a referee, it's the rule: all your clothes have to have stripes on them.
Yeah.
You know what? That's the rule. So
you're just a paid zebra.
Yes, it's a full zebra. Life of if you're bad, you gotta hear about it. So you get a penalty box during the game if you're a bad referee. So that incentivizes you to do good, to make good calls. It's judged by an external panel that's watching the game, and then also if you're bad, if you have a string of bad games, you have to wear your referee outfit everywhere you go. And people
for at least 6 months you have to wear that fucking shirt so people can yell at you.
I was gonna say 4 days in the city where you
half a year
fuck the call up. Yeah, you gotta live half a year in Boston.
You have to
screw
move
the
to the city that you fucked. I like extreme this competitive skateboarding stuff.
Yeah, you're a Mountain Dew guy.
Stuff. I'm a Mountain Dew guy. I'm a Bam Margera sponsored extreme deodorant guy. So I think a way to make that cooler would be to like add little like I don't know, like motors to the skateboard so that you know, you can like control your speed and stuff. So if you're going off of something, or if like you're doing like the vert stuff, you could like go higher and do more stuff, and like 900s would be fucking super easy. So they'd be like, I want to do a 2000 maybe. And you'd see people like even the street stuff, like the stuff that like when people have those runs, if you're like going off of like a fun box, you can just hit it and you can get fucking higher and do like more grabs, do more spins. I think that would be really cool.
Do a ton of misty flips.
Misty flips.
McTwist.
McTwists. Yeah, you do like a fucking Indy 5.0 fake melon, dude.
You don't know what a misty flip is?
No.
Oh, dude, that was all the rage when I was a kid. Hold on.
Misty flip?
A misty flip, yeah.
I've never even heard that.
Oh, yeah, it's coming up, too, so I'm really glad
It's coming up.
that I'm correct. It's the Misty Flip is an off-axis backslide 540 rotation performed in freestyle sports such as free skiing, snowboarding, skateboarding, inline skating, or trampolining.
Trampolining?
Yeah,
that's
right.
cool. I want to do that. We should go to a trampoline place and do like the fucking thing where you like go down and then climb the wall.
Can't explain to you how much I thrive in those environments and love those things so
like
much.
you are all limbs and elbows.
Yeah. I also like had a trampoline in my backyard, so I'm like I'm a double flip guy.
Yeah,
dude, you must knock the teeth out of children when you just jump with your fucking tarantula limbs.
When I play dodgeball, it looks like someone's throwing a fucking wood plank in the air. I'm just
picturing Feeney as a little kid on the trampoline. His dad's like making him competitive trampoline. He's like that scene from...
My dad loved me, unfortunately, but
he's like that scene from I doubt
Feeney
that
enjoys going home.
Yeah. It's great to see him. We have a great relationship.
I don't think so. I think you're hiding something, man. There's no way. There's no way you are like our best friend and everything's cool with you. You know what I mean?
I didn't say everything's cool, but my parents.
There's no way you're not
great.
Fucked up in the same ways that we're.
Yeah, you're
up.
not Mother Teresa. You're not just emotionally suckling. We're not suckling from your teat.
Yeah.
Or are you?
You identify with this.
Yeah.
Wow, you relate. There's something. There's something.
I let you guys vent.
Look, but there's smoke, there's fire. Okay, buddy.
Okay.
All right, here's a fun one. What conspiracy theory would you most like to be true?
Sandy Hook.
That's the show, everybody. Please.
That's our careers, everybody. Good
We
night.
are now only Patreon, so please sign up. I don't know. Are there any good conspiracy theories? Are
Aliens?
there like? I
mean, is that even a conspiracy at this point? There's here's the thing. This is what's weird is, you know, conspiracy theorists throw so much shit at the wall. Eventually some of it's gonna stick, but it is kind of hilarious how certain things are playing out with the aliens, because it is complete like disclosure where they're just kind of like slowly giving us bits and pieces of the fact that they've been here for a while and they've known about it, and it's during a pandemic, it's during political and social strife, so we're all like, yeah, who gives a fuck, you know, read our minds, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, and eventually we're just gonna be sitting at the bar next to a fucking Martian and we're gonna be like, yeah, it's like what it's always been,
a gigantic cockroach, probably. Like, we all think that aliens are gonna be these like big-eyed, like triangle faced things that are like the South Park aliens, but what they probably are these like antennas and fucking so many like disgusting things that we would be like, ew, gross. Giant moths.
I don't like that you think you know what I picture an alien to look like.
Okay.
Damn, dude.
Okay.
You're not in my heart.
Whoa.
Don't tell me my alien has a triangle face.
Yeah.
Yours is all cables and antennas.
Yeah.
Pillow talk with Mike Cannon is so hard to do. You're like, what if aliens are, wow, you get insulted by everything.
Brendan's aliens are from planet Fios.
They're all from planet Spectrum.
Same
what
joke.
Conspiracy? Yeah, same joke. Whatever.
One's about autism.
Yeah.
Hey. We should have a fucking sound, which, by the way, I think Kirsten has given up on the convoy sound effects. I've been listening, and we're all like, hey, Kirsten's got it, and she never puts it in. So why don't we stop trying to add sound effects?
I think we should try to add more, to be honest.
Let's really test if she
start with
gives a
that
shit
one.
about us.
Yeah. It's 12 episodes in. They've already lost interest. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
What conspiracy theory would I wish to be true? I do feel like I mentioned JFK a lot, but any American government, like 9/11, I would like to know. I don't know. I guess I don't want that to be true. I don't know.
Well, which one? There's also like, you have to specify when it comes to 9/11. Like, was it direct energy weapons with two planes, with two hologram planes, and the planes never existed and nobody saw planes?
Oh,
and the
I know
fully
what
preserved
conspiracy theory
passport
I
of
want to be
Muhammad
true.
Atta was like placed there by Bill Clinton.
I know a conspiracy theory. Tupac's not dead. I want the conspiracy theory that he's on an island just chilling. I would love that to be true.
Can you imagine how like insanely like that is maybe the least believable of any of the conspiracy theories, because you're like, even if he didn't get shot in bloody murder, like, do you remember how outspoken he was about everything that he did? Can you imagine him just being like, all right, I'm a quiet guy now, not making waves, and no one catches him anyway? It's like, those are always the fun things where you're like, what if the world's loudest person decided to go off the grid? And you're like, for what, a day? And it would have been like, motherfucker, you're gonna come back.
There would have to be like a much deeper, like there would have to be like stakes at that point where it's like, Tupac, we will kill you unless you want to go to an island.
But they're ready to die.
That's Biggie Smalls.
Did you ever see that weird the Tupac thing where he was wearing the Jordans that came out like 12 years later?
Yeah, but that's fine. I believe that.
Why is that fine?
I believe him. He didn't. About
I didn't
what?
even say I
believe all Tupacs.
I said I believe all Pacs. I believe that Nike probably had that shoe ready, and they just gave it to him.
Oh, you think they have just prototypes for the next 25 Michael Jordan sneakers?
Yes.
Okay. I mean,
and that's the conspiracy.
You know what?
I want
that conspiracy to be true. Yeah. If that's the case, I want the Jordan 58s.
What about you, Fiend Dog?
That's what I was. I guess I was saying that about aliens would be a great one.
I would like there's a conspiracy where the dinosaurs didn't die from the Big Bang. They just got
killed themselves.
They all killed themselves. Yeah. There's a
Really?
literal where they all like went mad. And that's supposedly like that could also happen with an asteroid heading towards the Earth or some sort of weird disruption of the gravitational pull. It can actually turn things mad. But so there's a conspiracy where like the dinosaurs just like freak out and hit their heads on a boulder and like killed themselves. So I would like that to be true, just to have footage of it.
Yeah, just a bunch of fucking raptors just going conk,
yeah, just
conk.
A bunch of Brendan Sagalosauruses killing themselves.
Tweeting about it.
Yeah. Their feet keep smashing their phones. They're so upset they can't get their sad tweets out there. They all kill themselves.
That's so funny.
Guys, sign up at patreon.com/scenariopod. We do 2 bonus episodes per week. I do a solo podcast up there. We got all of our content. We just put a big vlog. Brendan edited together all of the footage that we shot when we all went snowboarding and skiing about a month ago. So we're putting up a bunch of different types of content, a lot of stand-up, a lot of sketch, a lot of podcasts, and starting as low as $5. So check that out. Also, follow us on social media. I'm at I am Mike Cannon, at I am Mike Feeney, at Brendan Sagalow, and we have dates. We have stand-up dates at all of our websites. So, everything you need, here's a scenario.com. You just subscribe and sign up for the Patreon and keep being winners.
Yeah, dude. And we're also going to be reading the pilot that you guys wrote. And
we got to do that.
Yeah. I'm really excited about that. I can't wait.
Maybe
we're going to be
that's our
casting a bunch of your favorite comics and everything. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Super psyched. Cool. Hell yeah. All right, couple more
all right,
questions.
couple more, yeah. Would you accept $1 million in $1 million in US dollars to leave your country and never step foot in it again? I'm gonna say this. It's a hard, but $1 million, it ain't that much. And if I'm not in US dollar, what am I doing with it?
It ain't that much, says the kid with a dying plant behind him.
Yeah.
Says the guy hoping to work his way up to a studio this year.
Yeah. Says the guy going on the road for not that much money tonight. All right, but if it's in U.S. dollars and we can't step foot in our country again, then what the fuck?
So you go $1 million are going to be accepted everywhere and convert pretty nicely in most places. You go to like Barbados, you're killing
Barbados Slim.
Yeah, or do the Euro trip, go to Bratislava, and you can own your own hotel for a nickel.
Or in Entourage, like Vinny Chase, live like a king for $8 a day or whatever it was.
75.
Okay.
75.
All right. So are you guys going to do it?
Yeah, if I could bring my family, 100%.
I think you can bring your family. Yeah,
I got $1 million. I could take care of them as well.
Yeah,
I'd love to. Would
also
love
like
to.
we would do great comedy wise in other countries. I think.
I'm not even thinking comedy at that point. I'm just out. I'm out. I'm off the grid.
I'm finally free.
Loudmouth
finally
shuts
free.
up forever.
Loudmouth nobody stops doing the thing.
Stop saying something, but here's a footage.
Stops doing dying art form.
38 Iversons.
Loudmouth nobody stops doing the thing. That's Brendan's newspaper.
Yeah, it twirls into the thing.
Yeah, you get it. You're still reading the headline.
Dying art form loses a failing person.
Loses sad fatso.
The only people who noticed is the sad fatso who contributed this article to this newspaper.
Yeah. Written by Brendan Sagalow.
Please, somebody notice.
Local nobody.
Forward by Jeffrey Gurian.
I remember he didn't take nice pictures of me at Skankfest.
After I specifically asked him to.
After I walked up to him when he was blackout drunk and asked him to take pictures of me in front of 6 people. Anyway, whatever. But that's all under the bridge, all right?
You did take terrible. I wish you had those pictures.
Bad.
They were so bad.
I was drunk, dude.
He looked like
That's when I take my best pictures.
He looked like Sasquatch dressed as Elvis.
I thought one of the pictures was cool.
It was like all blown out. It was
He
like
was like looking down and everything.
It's like when you're using
he's
your.
sad that you're taking bad pictures.
He did kind of force me. He never said he didn't say, "Can you take a picture?" He said, "Here, take a picture of me on stage." So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But let's not talk about that. That's crazy to talk about that. You're a crazy man.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you eat your children to save your spouse, or eat your spouse to save your child?
I would bon appetit, Nicole.
There's a lot more. Yeah, just from a like a logical perspective, how much meat you getting out of a kid? Not as much.
That's
I don't think it's
crawfish.
about the meat.
Eating a kid is like a crawfish. It's like a lot of cracking and bloody fingers, and then you just get barely any sustenance.
Yeah, you're picking the small livers out like that.
And Old Bay is all over your knuckles.
Oh man, Erica's literally like preparing crab cakes to make for later right now, and I'm just so excited at the idea
Nice,
of
dude. Nice.
the Old Bay.
Damn. Speaking of Old Bay, I should
Brendan's like,
call
that's
Jess.
cool. I was gonna drink cold hot chocolate later.
Brendan may or may not have eaten day-old fries when I was at his apartment yesterday. Burger King
I had
fries
one
that were
fry,
never
you
good
cunt.
warm.
Shut up.
I watched you sneakily eat it and look around.
I did sneakily eat it because I knew there was going to be judgment. But then when I had it, I went, "This is bad." So I'm growing. I'm getting better.
You're growing.
I'm growing. Okay, I think we got time for one more. I think.
Yeah, let's do one more.
Okay, if you could go back in time for 1 week, when would it be, and what would you do? I think we've answered this so many fucking times, but I guess if you go back in time for 1 week, yeah, it's been 1 week since you looked at me, but I don't know.
I was like, what happened to you?
I knew what you did and refused to jump in.
I thought you were going to jump in.
Can I be honest? I knew too.
You didn't know. Shut the fuck
yes,
up.
I did. Bare Naked Ladies,
Shut
you
up.
dumb fuck.
Now you know. Now you know.
It's my least favorite band because I was dating Nicole in 9th grade and she went with her friends and got drunk. And so we broke
So you're
up.
taking it out on
So I'm taking it out on you.
on those millionaires.
What?
Those guys are fucking filthy rich. You know they made the theme song to Big Bang Theory. So unless they sold it as like a guarantee,
Yeah, I have a feeling that their Bare Naked Ladies is getting points. You know, I don't think they're just doing a flat rate.
boom, boom. What's that song? They had some good songs. Bare Naked Ladies really threw a good concert where we all got drunk and our boyfriends didn't get mad.
What is something? If you go back for 1 week, I guess maybe
Get
like
into a salamu because I got tuna's got a boom and a babes. It make me think the wrong things.
That's embarrassing.
Shut up. The song's
Was that
fucking
Snow?
25
Shut up.
years old. You
What?
shut up.
Brendan was just singing Informer by Snow, I think.
I said, I like
It's only been 1 week. I you know, I don't know. The first thing I can think of to go back to would be like that 2009 when the Yankees won the World Series and like because that whole they were against the Phillies. It was you know it was a tough matchup, and I would have gone to one of the games had I known it would have been so long since they'll win another one. I would have definitely gone. I didn't even go to the parade because I think I was working up in production at that time and just was like they'll win again next year and I'll go. And it's been since then. It's been more than 1 week.
Nice. I can't
It's
think of a
been-
time. I can't think of
I
a
wanted Feeney
time.
to do it for me, but not Sagalow.
Nope. Pretty hard line across the
Damn
board.
it.
Yeah, I like that. I respect that.
I really tried.
You know, I'll jump in at any time you want to
I
sing,
know.
buddy.
Well, I saw you like get on the corner.
How can I think about it, man? I honestly cannot think of a time that I would want to go back to because if you go back to like the 80s, like that, the whole like, you know, from like the 20s to the 90s, it's like,
Oh, I thought it was one part in your life.
oh,
Is it just forever?
no, it says if you can go back in time for 1 week, when would it be and what would you do?
Oh,
not
well then
at all part of your life.
Well, that changes a lot, I guess.
I guess,
I
but
don't-
does it? Like, what do you do? I don't
What do you
know
do? You
even a
have to spend a
specific
whole
time
week
in
finding a
history to be like,
hotel or something?
I want to go back to the French Revolution.
It'd be cool to go back to like the American Revolution, though, like when they were writing like the Declaration of Independence, that whole week where it's like Declaration of Independence, Paul Revere, and people are like, it's like they're like trying to be like a secret society.
Yeah.
It's such a funny thing that they're like, we're like Americans, you know, we're like pirates. We just like, came over here on ships, murdered everyone in our way, and then we're like, they're the bad people across the river, and we're gonna sneakily write our own little code that's gonna be super not equal for a long time.
You just explained why conspiracy will never die in this country. It's literally in the DNA, in the fabric of how we were established.
I love it.
Very sneaky.
Yep.
I
Well, that's
honestly,
the episode.
yeah, I really can't think of anything. So that's the episode, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for
We love
checking
you.
out. Check out the Patreon.
Yeah, patreon.com/scenario pod.
Hell yeah. Bye, everybody.
The scenario.
Here's the Scenario is Mike Feeney, Mike Cannon, and Brendan Sagalow. Executive producers Robert Kelly and Matt Kleinschmidt for the Laugh Button Podcast. For more information about the show, visit here'sthescenario.com.
The scenario.